welcome back to Stasis Geek. We're back. It's crime movies, my recommendations. Now, a lot of good uns, and I mean a lot of good uns, didn't make the list. So I whittled it down from 30 to 10. So these are the ones I like watching over again. Yeah, they're not, yeah, there's some R classics in there. Give it that because they're just great. And I would say the first one is one probably everybody's seen. Now, I must say, my latest movie's from 1997. Didn't mean to, and it strung out when I just went, what order? The first lot are from the 90s. So, the first one is a great crime, a bit of who did it, you know who did it, but everything goes pear-shaped. It is dark humour done probably at its best because every element on this is great. They even made a TV spin-off of it and then other seasons onto it. It's Fargo. This is brilliant. Every character in this and every actor is brilliant in this. There is just how they perceive of with the, you have the pregnant cop finding out what the salesman's doing, the henchman doing, the kind of crime element, and everything goes wrong with this, with the cop trying to figure out the crime. And everything entailed when you get the other side of the story, everything goes wrong. In such a clever, dark humour way, it makes you laugh whilst you're watching a crime movie. Yeah, it is great. It's kind of everything goes pear-shaped. You know, if you've watched the TV series, you know what I'm on about with the one with Billy Bob Thornton in it. But this, it's brilliant. Coen brothers, absolutely brilliant. Their direction on this, how they portrayed everything, it's just on point. So yeah, my first on my list is Fargo. Now my second, if you watch me and Sandy Q do our biography one, she had this in there and we kind of discussed where would it fit. So this one I had always in this list, and it's Goodfellas. Now, probably Sandy did a better job at me than I would do explaining this movie, but this is probably the most American gangster I've got on the list, I would say. It is just brilliant. You know, it has the storyline pulled, say, on the biography side of it, of what's actually going on, you know, in the crime and how you come up, you know, into the world of the crime, and then the downside of what happens when you run out of road. And it's absolutely, everybody in this, from Robert De Niro, Ray Liotta, is absolutely brilliant. Joe Pesci, his character is iconic. How he's portrayed it is absolutely iconic. And I've got him on another list. But it's a one. Yeah, me and Sandy kind of went through this. We completely agree. This, you know, it has to be. This crosses over on so many different kind of aspects of where you could have it in a genre. But for me, it's more crime because it has the heist. It has more, I say, gangster moments in it. So for me, it fits into the crime section. So that's why I put this in the crime section. All right, the next one is a good one. It is because I think this one, it is a very American movie done by Europeans. So I don't think it was well received at the time, but I really like it. It is Killing Zoe. Now this one is great. It's Eric Stahl goes to see his friend in Europe, yeah, and he is kind of wanting to do his bank heist, yeah, and his character Zed in this is the I suppose safecracker, but everything goes wrong. It's a betrayal story. It's what, again, if you know, he's so out of it, yeah, and he's joined this group, and it's just about everything goes wrong, you know, before, like, it's going to be no killings, it's everything's going to be safe, everybody knows their job, and everything goes out of control. It is a great, I suppose if you have to say, it's a French cinema with American backers. That's the only way I can say it. So it is a very French film, yeah, no underlying in that. So it's very kind of that kind of quirky pace, really that dark European humor. I absolutely love this. It would always be on my top 10, yeah, of, you know, crimes and all that. I think this is very clever, yeah, very well done. I say it's another 90s one, but yeah, again, it wasn't well received. I think it was just, you know, it was too too out there, a bit too quirky, but I kind of really like it. It is good. It's a bank heist, yeah, and so that's my one. The next one, would you call it kind of modern day now? Because a lot of it makes sense to what's going on now. It's LA Confidential. Yeah, I love this movie. I do. It's not everybody's cup of tea, but I really, really do like it. I think the showing the corrupt side of Hollywood in the 50s, and then kind of what all bit seedy, you know, this kind of weird sex ring that's going on with kind of having mimics, I suppose, of high-end prostitutes with actresses. It's kind of things, and then of course you get onto it with, you know, murders entwined, and it's great. You know, Kevin Spacey, Russell Crowe, Guy Pearce is absolutely great in it. The actual letdown is Kim Basinger. She's not very good in it. So, but the cleverness of the story, or showing that kind of sleaziness in Hollywood, well, it kind of speaks a bit for today, doesn't it? So it's kind of, yeah, it's a great story. It's showing that everything, you know, how much Hollywood has control of, you know, LA, you know, in this district. It's just great. Who pulls the strings? The people with money. Yeah, and it's not kind of the justice, I think. Russell Crowe in it is great. He's kind of this narcissistic kind of cop that kind of then turns good, who's getting kind of corrupted himself, and it's great. Yeah, everybody in this is great. Now, my next one is, this one was a hard one, because I was like, it has very good comedy moments, but it's about a crime. So I was like, well, it's about a crime. It's set in a in a courtroom. Yeah, most of it. So I was like, I have to put it in crime because it is about crime, and it's Joe Pesci in My Cousin Vinnie. This is brilliant. It is a fun, loving movie. It is quite, you know, he's like defending I think it's his cousin in it, you know, who's gone to college, and they kind of get stopped and arrested in this small town. Don't know where it is. I can't remember now. But because they're like from the north, they don't believe them. Yeah. So they kind of get him in, charge him, and they have to go to court, and then the judge starts. But then they get Joe Pesci's character, Vinny, and it's great. So he's kind of out of wants to do something dodgy, like, and he's got like, you think he's got a degree, he's not a good degree, and it's just the clever insight of how, you know, he might not have a law degree, but it does at the end. Yeah, and it's that manipulation of, well, I'm actually quite clever. If I actually use my brain, I'm absolutely clever. And it is just a very fun movie. If you've never seen My Cousin Vinnie, you can sit down with the family, and it's just a very funny movie. It is. It's funny, but it tells a crime story around it of how, you know, this small petty crime kind of got out of control. Then it turns into like a gun shooting and all that, and then how they kind of got railroaded into saying, we did it, but we didn't do it, and then it gets all confused, and it ends up in court, and then My Cousin Vinnie comes to the rescue. So yeah, it is very comedic, but I like comedy crime, so it's on my list. And then talking about comedy crimes, the next one is a classic. Now, it isn't the Tom Hanks one, because the Tom Hanks one is awful. It's the original, The Lady Killers. Alec Guinness. Yeah, I have got a few Alex Guinness, I must say that. But this is absolutely brilliant. It's an oddball crime with the five guys who are trying to kind of do another bank robbery. And they're staying with the little old lady. That's the best of it. And they're pretending they're, you know, musicians. And that's why they need to be there, and they need to make, you know, the noise to cover what they're doing. It's funny, but everything again on this, it is so well done, and kind of how it all goes Pete Tong at the end is so clever, because yes, Alex Guinness, Peter Sellers, whoa, brilliant in this. So every little element of them kind of trying to do the bank, you know, and what goes kind of wrong at the end, and it gets pulled out, and this little old lady who's this innocent kind of just doing her own business and being lovable, and then she doesn't realise she's housing like this massive crime gang going on, and it's brilliant. It's funny, it's dark, it's quirky, it's lovable. Yeah, it's just that kind of 50s movie. It's just, it's great. And yeah, so Alex Guinness in it with his little teeth and all that, absolutely brilliant. But it's just, what would happen if you kind of, we can't take the money, we're going to have the money, we're doing this. And it's just those little moments where a little mishap, spoils it all, and it just goes all awry. Yeah, so this is a brilliant, absolutely brilliant movie. So it's a bit fun, it's got a bit of comedy elements, but it is quite dark humour, I must say that. So the next one is another Alex Guinness one, and yeah, this one is a lot of comedy, I would say, because it's a bank bullion heist, but everything in it is quite funny to get to that stage. And it's the Lavender Hill Mob. Yes. So this is, of course, Alec Guinness, Stanley Holloway. Yeah, it's kind of one of those classic ones that a good plan, everything goes well, and then the last minute, it goes wrong. And to give this away, so spoilers if you haven't seen it, it's all about a miniature Eiffel Tower, and when you get to that moment and it goes a bit wrong, it is quite funny, and them trying to draw back of actually trying to get the bullion back into their possession. But it is things, Alec Guinness plays the bank clerk, and he comes up with the idea of robbing from inside, and he gets his little gang. He figures out, he can get this little party, the Lavender Hill Mob, and it's absolutely, it's quite funny. It's got a very young Sidney James. Yeah, so that's interesting to see him. But everybody in this is great. It's one of those, like Alex Guinness ones from this era, as Stanley Holloway, is just a lovable movie. You cannot not like this, because it's just a very family-friendly crime comedy movie. It's high up there. I love these kind of movies. So yeah, this one is for me. Yeah, it's kind of got the heist. It's again like got that element of everybody doing everything right. And at that one moment, what they thought was a good idea, oh no, they didn't think of that. And it's so funny. It just makes this movie elevate. You like comedy, cleverness. Everybody's trying to be cleverer than the next person, but it's that one moment that they forgot about that could slip them up, and it's kind of like that innocence, let's call it, that slips them up. So yeah, I love this movie. It is one of those I will stop and watch if it's on TV. It's just the classic. Now, the next one is a bit of a firm one. It's a British one, I must say that. Very, very British. Now, when I watched this, it's got Bob Hoskins in it. Yeah. And I watched it. This is an 80s movie, but I watched it around the time of when Super Mario came out, when he was in that. So it's kind of like funny that, oh, look, Bob Hoskins. And he plays a very dark London gangster in The Long Good Friday. Now, this is really intense, because it starts off, with, everything going right in his life kind of things, and then everything going wrong. And what it is, he's trying to make a deal, I think it's with an American, to try and up the London area so they can get the Olympics. Yeah, but he's a gangster. He's a proper underworld, lord of London. He's top of his game. But he forgets about one thing. He's peed off the wrong people. And the wrong people are the IRA. And everything goes wrong. Where he thinks I'm the boss, then he gets kind of, no, you're not the boss. So he's dodgy dealings, he's kind of underworld moments, and he's trying to do this, kind of not straight kind of work, but he's trying to get into that avenue. Goes all wrong, but it's a very intense. And the ending of it, I can't give it away, because it's just, didn't expect them to do that. Whoa, that was good. So yeah, this is an intense, it's all like one of those British, British crime, very, You know, it's very London. It's very, you know, it's just great. It is just one of those great. So yeah, the Long Good Friday. It's just it's where everybody thinks they're, you know, they're better. You know, they're top of their game. You know, and there's somebody always, you know, bigger than you. So yeah, that's one to do if you've not seen the Long Good Friday. Got Helen Mirren in it as well. She's actually a very small part, I would say, but she plays, you know, on the side there. I would say the next two are a given. Yeah, probably everybody's got them in an order. So then, yeah, the next two. Now, this one is it's like a con within a con by two grifters, and it's got two great actors in it, Paul Newman and Robert Redford. It's The Sting. When I first saw this, I was blown away by this. I was just like, you know, I just found it amazing. It's got like iconic music, the score on point. I think the score I won an Oscar. I must say, this won a lot. I know that, but it is brilliant. It is when you think the con is on, and then you think it's off, and then you realise at the point that the con was always there. It is very, very clever. It's a story of within a story that plays around with like what you're seeing, and you don't realise, oh, that misdirection. So this is very, you know, you're being conned watching it. It is great. So I love that kind of things. It's the, you know, it's misdirection at every one moment of when you're watching this. Like, and the teamwork, you know, between Paul Newman and Robert Redford is brilliant on this. Like the on-screen presence they have together is brilliant in this. So I think this is an obvious, you know, this is like one of my 9 out of 10s. I don't really give 10s, but this is a 9 out of 10. This is top draw a movie. You can't not love this. It's just it's got the great score, but a great story behind it. And when you're watching it for the first time, you're like, oh no. Oh, they're back on. It's back off. Oh, no, they've made a mistake. Oh, no, they haven't. They did it. Oh, so it's one of those ones where you get kind of pulled. It's great. Now, the last is a brilliant movie. I think this is probably going to be on most people's list because the end, I didn't see that coming. But then when you get the breakdown of what you didn't think you saw, and then you realise you saw every moment of it, it's The Usual Suspects. This, Guys Associate, and all that is absolutely brilliant. How it's shot and directed, that it gives you, again, misdirection, because you're actually seeing what is actually being explained at the end throughout the whole movie. And it's until that walk, everybody knows that, the dragging of the feet, and then the walk, and then you're like, oh, and the drop of the cup. It's that realization. It's like, oh, that is so obvious. How did I miss it all the way through the movie? So those subtle hints, and even hints that are right in front of you, is just so well. This is a well edited movie. It is so, those different moments that tells you what's going on, you know, what's the end game, is absolutely, brilliant. It's all getting those, how to get those pieces on the chessboard without the other person knowing. It is very cleverly done. It's a clever story within it, and it brings in, the 5 criminals, you know, all related but not related, about one crime, all going in, and then a crime to hide the real crime, you know. It's clever as. So it's the, you're in there for randomness, but you've actually been put there. It's great. That police lineup, and like they all go into a cell and they all explain what they do, and they realise, hold it, you did that bit, but then you did that, and then you did that, and that's why you're here. But they all think they're in it for this story and this crime, but they're actually working on this thing. Their misdirection is absolutely top draw on this. So it's again, I think this one is It's another 9 for me. This one, yeah, it's up there. It's up there. It's great. I love this movie, and it's when you watch it again, you're always trying to watch the different bits, so that's good. But yeah, so there are my recommendations. I said some of them you probably know, a lot of them you probably do, and like that. But it's ones I love watching again. So yeah, it's a good one. There, yeah, have a bit of fun. Go and have a watch, especially Killing Zoe. If you've not seen it, it's probably the most obscure one on the list. But the other ones, things, and go and listen to Sandy. She gave a great breakdown on that, on the biography one. So, but yeah, it's a good one. But there was other ones, you got, I like, Casino could have been a Dirty Harry, Miller's Crossing, could have been on that. You got Pulp Fiction 7. You could put The Godfathers, The Roaring Twenties could have been on there, Like, I like the movie Stranger Days. It's great. Day of the Jackal. Great. Even, Snatch could have been on here. It's so many great ones. Even Point Break. That is a fun, good movie, isn't it? So there are other ones, but those were that's my list. That's it. I had to whittle it down, and that's what I came to. So yeah, hope you're going to enjoy. Hope you've gone, ooh, you know what? There's a couple on there I haven't seen. So yeah, and go and have some fun with a bit of crime, because I like that. But as you see, I do like a bit of crime and a little bit of humour together. So yeah, go and enjoy yourselves if you've not seen them. But as always, give us a comment on your crime ones, because there's going to be top ones that I didn't put on here that you're going to go, oh, I love this one and it should have been on there. So yeah, again, give us your comments and give us a like if you want to like. As always, Stasis Geek out.